Legacies are inherited for good or for bad. And one of the legacies that we've inherited, especially as Black women, when we're looking for love, is a really, really complicated one. If we just take a second to think about it, even during the civil rights movement, we as Black women were sidelined because we were expected to take care of the man, push the man forward. Civil rights was about obviously Black people at large, but it was also about male dominance. It was about the Black man asserting himself once again into society as a force to be reckoned with. And we were given two choices. We were given the choice to stay at home or support our man and vocally do so, or the other option was contribute to the household, take care of the kids, and be in the background. The other side of that, which is the other part of our legacy, is that we've always been encouraged, at least, if I think about myself, I was encouraged to be independent, be able to do for yourself. Where does that even come from? Well, let's go again, because I have to go back into history. So if we look at the dynamic of slavery, that was once again, where the man was taken out of the household and the woman was the person who was expected to take care of herself and also work, because he wasn't allowed to fulfill his role. So he was powerless. So she was like, well, I have to do mother and father. Thus, we get to today. Which means, once again, when we go to look for love, it's sometimes a difficult journey. It's a difficult journey because we're not always encouraged to trust. It's a difficult journey because we're not always encouraged to be open, to be vulnerable, to look for help. But it's also a difficult journey because we're not always really expecting to be treated like women. We are expecting to always have difficulties within our love life. And that was also one of the reasons why I decided to do my podcast, Black Female in Dating, because I want to explore this narrative. I want us to understand that we have to love ourselves first and that we have to break the legacy that comes before us. We are most of the time so misunderstood in the dating world. People expect us to be strong. They expect us to never show any signs of weakness. But showing love, attracting love, giving love, ultimately means you have to be vulnerable, you have to show weakness, you have to let somebody in behind that barrier. So my message today is work on it. We have to work on it. Work on being vulnerable, work on being open. And to all the men, women, or whoever want to date us, understand that the legacy we've inherited means that we cannot always be open about everything we feel. Take your time to get to know us, because the legacy and the burden under which we sit, especially revealing the true us, is something that we've never been allowed to fully express. Black women have taken historically a back seat, whether it's in, and when I say a back seat, I don't mean a back seat in executing the work, because that's never the case. We're always working. We've taken a back seat in being acknowledged. We've taken a back seat in people supporting us and pushing us forward in the movements. We've taken a back seat in actually outlining what we need in relationships. We've said, let me support my man. I will not talk about what goes on in the house. Let me support my man. I will put his career first before mine. Even if we are overqualified, even if we could get any job we want to, we take a back seat a lot of the time. This stops today. We have to start putting ourselves first, and we have to start putting the work in to ourselves and requiring the men, women, partners that we choose to date, requiring that they also put the work in themselves, but also in our relationships. So on that note, have a happy day and enjoy my podcast. Bye.